All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Space Brothers, episode 40.
You can't do this show.
Okay, the show's called Space Brothers, right? We spent 39 episodes getting to the point where these brothers will be able to be in space together. You can't just kill one of the brothers first thing. No.
He's not gonna die. He's
not
just
gonna
gonna be crippled for life, and then
He'll never be able to.
space.
No. It's going to be a scare.
It's going to be a scare. It's going to be fine. Mm-hmm. This is just something where we ended up, just stopping our Space Brothers binge right at that episode, which is just very unfortunate.
Yes,
so
right, exactly. There. This is just going to be the scare that makes it so that they will properly respect the fact that they're going into death and darkness incarnate that is space. Mm-hmm. So, that's it. And, maybe we'll have a bit where we need to worry and rescue Hibito and all that. But
maybe.
It's going to be fine.
Not. But yeah, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Deploy super jetpack. Transform.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they over-dramatize the amount of time that they would go there. So Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Okay, this is fine.
Oh.
But they went different directions, too.
Yeah, no, that could be... Oh, boy. All right.
When your life flashes before your eyes, it flashes.
What?
またみんなを殺しちゃったよ。
Dang.
ブライアン。
Yeah.
やっちゃったか。だがまだ甘いな。シミュレーターで死んだ回数なら俺の方が。
I've logged way more.
天国も地獄もどっちも生きてる時に見るもんだ。
It's dark. You're gonna be disoriented.
Don't panic. Doesn't seem like there's a suit breach.
The scary thing is he wouldn't know.
ダミアン、どこ行った？
Because it could just be the tiniest hair. Mm-hmm. And it slowly just gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Well, that also looks way worse than it did from before.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was a bowl before this, but...
ムーンベース。ヒルソン、どうした？ムーンベースには繋がりました。二人の状況を説明してやれ。あと、その後の指示を待つように伝えろ。
Oh boy. Okay, that, yeah.
Yeah, that's
you can see
pretty
the
bad.
slope now.
ヒルソン、こちらヒビト。ヒルソン。
Yeah.
永久影のあるクレーターにでも落ちたかな。通信衛星の電波が届かないほど。
Crap.
That's bad.
これが、もしかしたら、さっきの衝撃で通信し。
Wouldn't have any way to tell. Yep.
Yep, you don't know. Could be any of those things.
Yep, we remember.
月の低重力とレゴリスのクッションに救われた。
Because it's ash.
Right.
Well, not ash, but,
Dust,
silt.
yeah.
応答してくれ！ダミアン！ダミアン！叫んだって聞こえるわけねえよ。
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Keep calm. Conserve oxygen.
声以外何も聞こえねえのはダミアンも同じだ。
Mm-hmm.
電池残量に問題はない。酸素もメインタンクだけで10時間は持つ。
Oh, that's actually plenty of time. Okay.
もう探さねえと。だけど、
Well, that can change
ど
if you
こへ行
panic.
きゃいい？遥か下まで落ちてたらどうする？この先何キロ下まであるのかもわからねえぞ。
At least he can tell the slope, so he
Yeah.
knows which way is up, which way is down.
The lights are your best way to signal. So if he's nearby, he'll see. Oh,
It depends. Like, they won't go infinitely out into the darkness.
right.
He has to be close enough, yeah.
Thinking he has to conserve power or something.
Oh, he can see up. He can see up because of the sky.
Okay.
ダミアン、あんたも見てるか？深い闇に落ちたせいで死ぬほど星が綺麗。
Yeah, that's awesome.
地獄のくせに天国に見える。
Nice.
Cool. All right, halfway mark.
もうライトをつけてくれればすぐに居場所がわかるのに。見渡す限り真っ暗ってことは、ダミアンのライトが故障したか、あるいは体を動かせない、
Or he's just unconscious, yeah.
Yeah.
あるいは
Yeah, he doesn't want to think that right now. Although in a wild way, the stars could end up being so bright that you don't see that light once you get far enough away from it. Yeah, I'm telling you, you wouldn't know. It'd be so small.
Yeah, and it's not like you have a field of vision to be able to like inspect yourself, you know?
Cool. So you know which way it went.
いや、バギーはまっすぐ落ちていったはず。なんで横に
Oh, it's the little rover.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That you were looking for. Cool, so you could do the mission and this. And Gibson might be your way to get up, too.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
まったく、お前のおかげでこんな羽目に。
But yeah, focus on your lives first. Don't waste.
みたいな機会でも、ちょっとはマシにさせてくれるもんなら。
Yep.
お前に会うまでの孤独感は結構やばかったよ。
Problem is, if it was controlled remotely, he probably doesn't have any way to make it move.
とにかくビートルをすぐ起動させよう。スリープ状態から稼働までに。
Oh, dang.
That's
just to get it started up.
二人での船外活動中。
Yeah.
何らかの事故により仲間の命が助からないと判断できると。
Right, what the rules are for that.
して自分の生還を第一に考えること。
Yep.
逆に自分の命が助からないと判断できるとき、もう一人の仲間の生還を第一に考えること。
Wow.
All right.
書いてあんだけどね。
Oh.
はっきり言ってこの通りにできるのか。
God damn it.
誰にもわからんことだ。
Okay.
When
okay.
in the impossible situation, when
Yeah.
you're in this hellish little pit.
Right.
透明弾が一つある。打ち上げればダミアンに俺の居場所を教えられる。
Save it.
もしダミアンに意識がなけりゃ。
Yep. Good
And you'd
call.
know that it would take an hour
生きたところを見計らって打ち上げる方が
for them to just get the machine out. So,
Right, but even then to get over here, it
フレ
could
ディ
take
たちが来る
3.
までどんぐらいだ。
oh god, and if he has a leak, he won't have 10 hours.
俺はトロイからここに着くまで80分はかかるな。
God.
合わせて2時間20分。
There you go.
つまり照明弾を打ち上げるのは2時間半後から3時間後か。それまで。
Oh, he just fired his. Damien just fired his.
ダミアン、無事だったか。
Or no, he's not.
No, he's desperate.
ダミア
Oh
ン、
no.
発光です。発光を確認。
We know
月周回
exactly
衛星
where
の
they
カメラが
are.
捉えました。リッティンガー峡谷です。
Cool, now they know exactly where they are.
間違いなくダミアンたちの照明弾だ。座標を割り出してムーンベースに転送しろ。
Brilliant.
Okay. Awesome.
That makes things so much easier. They don't have to look into which spot they're going to. We know exactly where they went.
Shit. He's not looking good.
He's still down. He's okay. His eyes are open. Okay. Yeah.
ダメだ。やっぱ通話できない。
Sign it or something like.
ちょっと待ってろダミアン。お互いボイスライターを接続しよう。
Oh shoot! What's this?
Okay. Nice.
Oh, that's brilliant.
4調節システムが故障したらしい。水の循環が悪くなってるようで。
I'm gonna die. He's gonna die.
ブライアンとの話を思い出してたんだ。
Oh, so he threw the flare basically.
わかるだろう、日々と。
Take my oxygen.
No, I
俺を置いていってくれ。
like I don't think he can. Like that's not how that works. Like
Yeah, how would you even install it onto your suit, even if you could?
oh.
Okay. All right.
もうちょっと左行って日々と。はい、ストップ。 った日々と。じゃあ次はそのみなめし君とって日々と。
Oh, he met his kids.
また重たくなったなアラン。
本当アランは日々とにべったりね。
ああ兄弟みたいだな。
Alright.
Yeah.
雨だって。
だから言ったろアラン。
だってパパはこれかっこいいって言ってたもん。ダースベイベーならいい。
Darth baby.
Nice.
あれは許そう。
これね日々とブライアンのおっちゃんにもらったやつなん
Oh.
Alright.
Yep.
だって言ってるよ。パラシュートが開かなかったんだって。でもパパは違うって言ってたよ。ブライアンのおっちゃんは今もまだ月にいるんだってさ。でね、パパが月に行ってもし帰ってこなかったらね。
Then he's just hanging out with Brian.
Hey, he's just being with his best friend up there.
Yeah.
Wow, he already had this conversation with him?
やだな。
No, you wouldn't get to see him again. Yeah. Moon's really far away. Unless you become an astronaut. Yeah, Hibito's gonna do something to see if the
バギーも動
buggies.
かね
Oh, Buggy's toast.
Yeah.
え。GPU がやられてる。
Okay.
バッテリーは問題ないが、修理してる時間はなさそうだ。
But if the battery could be swapped into the rover,
I mean,
maybe.
no way. He's headed back for him.
隕石も宇宙ゴミもあんまりこの深さまでは届かないんだな。結構ゴツゴツした岩石が残ってる。
Oh no. And it was established that there was like the partial tear, so
さえあれば俺らが助かる可能性がある。このバッテリーでギブソンを再起動。
Okay, to restart him.
あ、ちょっと上で待ってるよ。あいつは無人探査機だけど結構でかいし。
Yeah, we could stuck you in it or on it,
right.
and then it'll move.
言っただろ日々と。俺は
Oh.
置いていけって。自分の命は助からないと判断したんだ。ブライアンと話しただろう。人命救助の原則第一項だ。
But him trying to fix the thing is still probably the most helpful option for him.
Well, they have nothing else to do, really.
Yeah.
ここに来て俺らを見つけて上に引き上げるまで4時間はかかる。4時間もこのマイナス170度の影にいたらダミアンの命が危ない。
Jeez, minus 170 degrees Celsius.
Okay.
よし。
Wow.
All right.
What a guy. Yeah!
25キロならアランを背負うのと大差ねえよ。
Wow, they're
Oh,
really
my heart.
they're Oh, okay. All right.
Damn.
さあ
Yeah.
He looks
Like
so
a goddamn
badass.
superhero.
Yeah.
情報はこれだけか。
Yeah, they just got the info
今
from
のところ
NASA.
あとは
Yeah.
NASA の報告待ちです。
日々と君の両親には
連絡済みです。
Oh. Okay, okay.
が採取した未整理の地形データからこの谷をクローズアップした 3D マップを用意してくれ。
Let's go.
Awesome.
谷の深さがわかる。
はい。
我々ジャクソンも
Awesome. Let's go. The whole world's going to be working to get them back.
Yeah.
Stop it, show. Shit. Just like that.
Well.
And that's where you end the episode.
Oh,
Okay.
well, we thought
All right,
we
that's-
were out of the
Yeah.
frying pan and into the fire.
Into the fire.
We fell down the pit.
Yep.
We accounted for gravity. The regolith obviously is a soft cushion
Yep.
in the surface part, and thus he didn't have too much issue with regards to the impact.
Right.
However, Damien's leg is probably broken. The idea that he said that there's no pain is actually
Potentially really bad.
potentially really bad.
Yeah.
Which is good in that he's not going to be mentally distracted, but it probably means that his leg is basically completely broken.
And Hibito just had a full-on suit breach. Okay.
Not just a suit breach, like an oxygen tank, like potential suit breach.
Yep.
Like,
So,
because they probably have stuff that they can do to like patch things up.
Sure.
But if
hopefully.
it's something that's big enough that it's putting pressure and opening the hole wider.
Yeah, right. Because I like how it wasn't one of, like, he mentioned sharp rocks, right? That could have been theoretically what happened, but it almost felt like it was the impact. So, like, it was weak enough, and there's the pressure of air versus vacuum of space, and then it just
Well, the suits are pretty tough, but it's still the thing that, like, every tiny bit of regolith is like glass.
right.
So, like, you sliding on it for a long period of time, all it would have taken for a little bit to just kind of weave in the fibers and then just slowly open it.
Yep.
And then...
And the outermost part of it was torn, so that's
Right, but
probably
there is-
the toughest part.
Right, but there is very thick padding in these suits so that they can survive the temperatures and stuff. So the idea that basically the air was slowly trying to push against that, and then,
Right.
impact happened, yeah.
Yeah, just because it doesn't have anything happen immediately doesn't mean that there's no actual damage done. But okay, so we have two people in very different situations. One who's potentially going to freeze to death, but he's in a space blanket. All right. And then the other one who,
Unless he patches his suit quickly, he's going to run out of air and die.
yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
all right, that's
This is
what we're
fun.
dealing with.
We do have a very unique situation, though, where we're showing how JAXA and NASA's responding. NASA's already sending the other astronauts basically on their way.
Yep.
It's going to take some time to get over there. JAXA bringing up the idea of using satellite imagery to get the 3D topographical map of that area is cool, but at this point, all this is going to be telling them exactly where Hibito died. Like,
yeah, exactly.
None of this
Recover a
is,
body or something.
none of this is actually the kind of stuff that can get him more oxygen. So I would love to see something really creative, like having something potentially fast that could get him oxygen, get him a suit repair kit, get him a tank of some kind.
If they get him into the vehicle, then I think he should be okay, because they'll be able to, get him out of the suit, or like get him into, like he won't have to worry about the oxygen. But
right.
They were saying an hour, and then they said, oh hey, probably like, what was it, like 80 minutes to actually get here because the vehicle's slow.
It was at least that.
And
so it would be 2 hours and 20 minutes to 3 hours.
Right. Now, to be fair...
Or no, that was the time that he was going to be throwing the flare, was between 2.5 to 3 hours.
Right, so that might be the data when they don't actually know which one they fell into. So that might be less time because they know it's this one specifically.
And they could be also tricking us with a little bit of time stuff here, in that once they went off signal, they were immediately contacted. But Hibito and Damien fell like a decent bit and were unconscious for a little bit. But I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Because they were saying, no, we have 10 hours, which is what they basically set out with. So there wasn't any loss of time.
But the fact that Hibito found the rover and then also found Gibson and then found Damien, that's potential time where he's walking, and maybe walking very slowly because he's like, okay, I want to make sure that I'm, got good footing and not slipping, anything like that. So, we'll see in the next episode what we have to work with.
Yeah. There's not much more to go off of here other than the unique kind of position that astronauts are in, that they have to face death.
Yep.
And they got to do it in the video game first.
Right.
You're going to die repeatedly in the simulations.
Over and over.
That's important. Because you see the ways that you die in the simulations, and you don't die that way on the moon.
Right.
And I loved using Brian J., someone who has died, as the vehicle to kind of talk about this.
Yeah.
Because it's showing that someone who is far more competent as an astronaut is capable of being put into a situation where there's just no way out.
Right. The parachute just doesn't open.
That's not his fault. That's not any of the astronauts' fault.
It was someone's fault somewhere, and probably several people's, but
Right. And it also could have just been there's about a 1 in 10,000 chance that just by entering, the parachute just doesn't open.
Yeah, exactly, right. It just doesn't, the immediate practical, you have, your entry and how all that works is just, it might be slightly different,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And they couldn't account for that. But that fucking sucks.
Right.
You were the 1 in 10,000, and maybe the odds are even worse than that. But the idea that he's talking to Hibito about this. Hibito's thinking about the man that taught him so much of this stuff, who's dead because of an accident.
Yep.
But this is one where it reminds Hibito of those simulations where he's like, I got everybody killed again. And it's
Right.
like, oh, that's great. Keep going. I've logged way more deaths in the simulation than you have. So it's that whole failure, I'm the one that's failed the most mindset. You know?
Yeah, exactly. The martial arts master that's like, I've gotten hit way more times than any of you ever will,
Right.
Like,
I've missed more shots than any of you will ever.
right.
Ever
That's how
take.
you get to the point
Yeah.
of, competence and everything, right?
Right.
But yeah, they did a wonderful job of escalating the tension here, while at the same time not making it feel like it's like, oh well, shit, they're just dead, right? Like that was kind of where
we have wiggle room here. It sucks that we're in this situation to begin with, but I like then that the story is taking this very seriously and saying like, okay, so we have to go through the process here. I do emotionally resonate with the kid who's been told this is what it means if Dad doesn't come back from the moon.
Yep.
It just means that he's staying up there for just for longer. He just
he can't come home yet.
He can't come home, and I love that he's had this conversation with his kid, because his kid is clearly like almost like 10, like kind of in that like 8, 9, 10-year-old like kind of age. So he can definitely talk these kinds of things through with him.
Right.
But the idea of death and the idea that it comes and there's no like, emotion behind it. It's just something that will come at some point. You don't know when, you don't know how, but when it comes, are you going to go quietly? Are you going to rely on some like way of thinking or what have you to carry you through those final moments? Are you going to be capable of doing anything heroic? Are you going to be capable of letting someone else live instead of you? There is a very cool thing. I like what you brought up of the transferring oxygen thing, even more so now that
there's
have
a
literal,
definite oxygen need.
A definite oxygen need. And if they can patch it up and it's just that, you patched it up, but you lost like 75% of your oxygen.
You've got 2.5 hours now, or 2, or something like that, right? And then it's the, okay, if you have the ability to do this, do you share some of your oxygen so that now both of you have 6 hours left, instead of one having 2 and one having 10, right?
Yeah, because now that I think about it, the reason why you would have 2 is not just because if something bad happens to one of them that there's both there, but it's because there's a lot of recovery potential, like within just the dynamic of 2. If it's not just something bad, but something like inconvenient happens, the ability to have redundancy is just always good. So
just the fact that they were able to find each other and Damien sent off his flare first, fantastic. That means that JAXA is able to do the stuff of like getting the topographical information for this area. Right. And then, Hibito still has the other flare, so that then it's the, all right, we're
this
here.
Is exactly where we are now.
Yeah, we need to find out exactly where you are. They're both together, so we don't need to worry about finding them both. All right, awesome. Here's the flare.
Yeah, now the scary part is they still probably, in order to survive, need to be able to use Gibson to pull them up the slope.
Yeah, to get like back to where Hibito was at the start or something.
Or no, I think all the way up to the top. Because, again, they're taking a different vehicle that is bigger and slower, so it's probably not capable of going down the slope here.
Well, the only thing that they would really need, I would think, is that it has a winch or something, and it's just, okay, we send a cable down there, right? If they're able to like get to the end, or you have one of the other people rappel down the side, right? And it's the, okay, find them, hook them up to the thing, and then we pull them up, right?
Yeah, you drag them along the regolith and...
or you have the other person carry them. If their legs are working, then they, an assisted climb up, back up or something like that.
Sure, if you've got some kind of belt or what have you that can attach this to. Because that is a good point. I think the suits having more functionality than less in terms of stuff that we don't know about, I think is one of the things that I would expect if we're going to be going to space, is that they're going to have things like, put this screen here that connects like voice to text,
So that way, if you don't have signal and you can't, just radio.
Yeah, as long as they can see each other, you can speak. It's
Yep.
like, that's brilliant.
That makes so much sense.
That makes so much sense, and also that's super in line with technology. That's
Right.
That's like,
But think,
very believable.
Like, narrative-wise, okay, Muta just became an astronaut, right? Now,
Right.
you want us to get to know all the ways of, the things that they have to work with for being an astronaut. Well, having us go through a bunch of meetings where the person drones on and tells us, that's not necessarily going to be as engaging. But it's we're going to get to know exactly how these suits work because Hibito and Damien's lives depend on it. And so
Sure.
they're going to be using every
I didn't
single
even think
tool at
about
their
that.
disposal to be like, all right, what do we got? We've got this. We've got this.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We've got the text thing.
Right.
And so we can see these people that are competent, that know all this stuff, to then bring it up
Enough,
in
yeah.
to then bring it up in dynamic and interesting ways that we will absolutely remember because we're here and engrossed in their survival journey.
yeah. But all right, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon and get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with the Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general. And also be sure to check out our Twitch channel. See if any of that interests you. We'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
Next time.